I did not know that could happen.
Yep.
The studio's best art program.
Yep.
I like your painting so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you captured the landscape really well.
Mm-hmm. I really like painting landscapes. It's just so peaceful.
Yeah. Well, like, just the rolling hills and the kind of flat plain, and then,
It's so pretty. I wish
It
I
is.
knew what the places looked like in Swordfall, because I feel like I always imagine them probably super different from what the DM.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what I'm basing a lot of it off of is the Pacific Northwest, especially where I live, where there are a lot of rolling hills and, like, fjords and lakes and, like, little valleys and forests and all that stuff. Or just, like, look at places like in Norway, and I think there's some places in like Germany and some places in England that just like, yeah, very European.
Yeah, that's never a thing here. We have flatlands here. Flatlands full of concrete.
Yeah, I live on top of a hill. I am like 2 blocks away from a park, and like about 5 blocks from a state park. So we have a lot of trees here, a lot of green, a lot of deers and hawks and bald eagles, and it's a really pretty area.
We have buzzards, we have raccoons and possums, and maybe the occasional deer if there's an open field. But most of the open fields have a for sale sign.
Oh, that makes me sad when I see that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's probably going to go to a gas station or a strip shopping center. Like,
that makes me even more sad.
And the thing is, those places never have any businesses that are open or anything. It's usually just unoccupied.
Yeah, I remember while we were in the recession, there was a building that was made, and it was like had rent space and all that stuff. And within like the first year, there was only one store that had come into it. It was kind of sad and depressing to see just like all these empty storefronts. Even some existing buildings, they were super empty, and yeah, it was just sad. The pizzeria I was working in, we basically had like empty spaces on either side of us. So it was like, oh man,
the
when are we
loneliest
gonna be
pizzeria.
Next? Yeah, exactly.
I figured this is probably where all the docks and all that are, so there has to be some kind of sea here, because obviously in the front.
So if you look at the actual map, it's a fjord. It's a like sea inlet.
Mm-hmm.
So it eventually goes to the sea, but it's protected enough.
Yeah, which it's in the distance, so.
Yeah. And I think I can't remember if it was. Oh no, it was on Discord in the what is it, Eagles Talons or whatever. That I was describing, like you can actually hear the seabirds and all that stuff. Unfortunately, that chat kind of like dropped.
Oh.
Like a rock.
What do y'all think? I could probably. I don't know. I think I need to probably grade out some more. Because it's pretty darn far away, and I'm always scared of oversaturation.
What size resolution are you using?
1280 by 720. And usually I do 8,000 pixels per. Well, what was it?
It looks so detailed, dude. How do you do that?
I don't know.
talent and luck. That's what it is. Talent and luck. Or just
Definitely
talent.
hard work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Years of suffering and some happiness.
Some happiness.
Yeah.
Lots of times of, oh my gosh, I drew that!
Okay.
I still need to comb through some of my old pictures again.
I like those videos when you were going through your old art books.
Yes. Some of
That's
that art
cool.
is just so terrible, but I'm so proud of
I
it
have
then.
my old DeviantArt, and whenever I look at it, I want to vomit.
Mhm.
It's so cringy. It's so cringy.
Oh man, like some of the stuff I used to draw, just ooh. It's
Yeah.
just it's not pretty, but we all had to start somewhere, and for some we started okay, and others not so much. Like I can relate having a whole bunch of like emo anime like characters,
Yes.
Christy. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
same. Everybody has their hair covering their eyeball.
Yeah,
Like
at
what?
least the one eyeball, and the eyeball is like fully visible because that was the style, and
I blame anime, mostly Naruto, probably, because that was what was on at the time.
yeah.
Oh my god, I think I have a picture of like my OC with like Kimimaro from Naruto because I was obsessed with him for some reason when I was like
Yeah,
so weird.
for me, teenage years and stuff, all about the Dragon Ball Z and some other anime. You know, it's just like, oh my god. I was so impressed with one of my classmates with, they were super good at, like, just replicating the art style of Dragon Ball Z, and I can't remember the artist off the top of my head, but, like, that dude's stuff,
Akira
I was like,
Toriyama?
yeah.
Ah.
And I was always like, oh man, this is so cool. And I don't know why I never figured out how to do it, because you know the eyes are like kind of simple. It's just some level of detail that for some reason like my 14, 15-year-old self never figured out how to do.
Sometimes it's something so simple, but it's such a pain to grasp. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you're putting in little huts.
Yeah, little huts. Figure it might have like tiny little towns around. Might be so tiny it's not really a town.
Actually, from this view, it almost reminds me of the area where the old graveyard would be, with the abandoned town in it.
Okay, so I will make this.
Now, make it whatever you want, because, you know, it's your little world. Do whatever you want.
Perfect. Oh wait. Crud.
I actually made a travel poster of the old cemetery, and I thought it looks really good.
Come to our town. We have a creepy cemetery.
We got an abandoned town, and cemeteries, and bandits, and owlbears.
We sell killer food. Or maybe even killer tea.
Oh yeah, I remember. I'm looking at my character sheet for the upcoming game that I'm having tonight. I'm like, oh wow, my character's down to 59 health points.
Okay, so... Well... You can always... I always like painting under the layers.
Yeah. So how many layers do you have on this right now?
Well, I've got... a lot.
A lot, yeah. I can see that. I just noticed, oh yeah, that's your layer section, and...
I should probably condense some of this, because some of it's just sky.
Yeah. No, I understand. Like some of the skies that I do, I use at least like 3 or 4 different layers just because I'm a dingbat and I like putting different details in different layers and then later on just putting them all together.
I'm having too much fun here.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I mean, if art wasn't fun, why would you be doing it, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
To more or less get the ideas out of my head and onto something tangible.
Yeah. Oh man, that like sudden 2 a.m. like inspiration. I get those every once in a while. I'm like, I have to get this idea somewhere. I don't care where. Get up in the middle of the night, draw something down, put it somewhere, fall asleep, wake up in the morning and be like, whoa, what is this? Why did I do this?
I should probably also name some of these.
Naming your layers, bleh.
I'll probably forget anyway.
Yeah. Like, my layer names always turn into, like, well, lately it hasn't been anything too inspirational because I've been doing a lot of, like, icons and stuff for Swordfall, but it's like, texture layer, base layer, logo layer.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be like, what was that again?
I don't remember what A1-3 was. I'm gonna rename it. Gosh, I love how you did your grass. I was watching it while you were doing your original podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, ah, man, I like the little details of like grass and stuff, and or people who can do wildflowers, like make just blobs look like wildflowers. I'm always fascinated with that.
Could do. See if I could do that. Oh, I forgot to lock the layer.
Whoops.
Are you drawing from this far away or is it different on screen?
I mean, it should be as it is on the screen.
I always have to zoom in super close. How the hell do you do that? Maybe I'm just blind.
I just kind of some of the stuff I just kind of wing it with an ambiguous like brush stroke. Like it's good enough. It looks good, convincing enough.
I don't understand painting, and that's part of my problem, like painting and digital painting. Like I don't know how, like I see people in tutorials making all these blobs, and then it looks like this super detailed thing, and I'm like, how?
Illusion is the key.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
Rachel and I went to like a Dutch master gallery once. I was like, do this trick. This is really funny. And so first we went to the piece super close because these are like the photorealistic like still life and dresses and all that stuff that they used to do back in whatever time period that was.
Mm-hmm.
1800, something like that. And so I told her, okay, let's first get in really close. And what do you see? And she's like, I only see blobs. I'm like, okay, let's slowly back up. And it's almost like when you do that, it's almost like a magic eye poster where like all the blobs and stuff that you saw super close suddenly become like this fully realized, almost photorealistic painting.
Mm-hmm.
And man, some of those guys must have been mad geniuses because like when you turn like 5 little blobs into this like very delicate looking piece of lace, man, you are doing something right.
These don't have to be perfect. They're just little semi-detailed huts here.
Yeah. Wonder who'd live in this little town. Like, are they farmers? Or are they just like people living out here? Maybe traders? Maybe just people on the main merchant route?
I mean, there is a lake.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
fishing.
Could just be a convenient spot to kind of place a town.
Yeah. Or there's no one in this town.
Yep. Where you can't hear anyone scream. Or anyone having gnats run through them.
Damn. And I'm always thinking about this when I'm like looking at pictures just on the internet or whatever. I like see an abandoned little town and like this would be cool to describe to like players.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, how did this get abandoned? What happened? Like, what's the story behind this? And I'm always constantly like collecting this stuff, even if I'm not gonna put it in like the game I'm gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good practice to look at the world, look at the real world, and see what you can actually find, and just try to implement it and try to describe it. Because, especially with like what we do with our voice-only podcast, where most of the time I don't even have maps out, it's always important to like be able to describe, what the town looks like, what kind of feelings that are like people could be getting from it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And I think I do it okay.
Job on description, honestly. I just have a trouble visualizing places because I haven't been many places, I guess. And I usually draw a character.
Yeah. I noticed that you are a little bit more focused on like people than places.
Mm.
And so like once you can actually identify that your players like they have more connection to one thing than another. You play up your players' strengths, so they have a good time, and you don't have a frustrating time trying to describe things to people.
Well, take
So
care of yourself, too. Like, your existence isn't just for us to have fun. We need to make sure you're having fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but part of the fun is to like actually have you like role play and actually understand what's going on. And so understanding what actually works for your players does make it a lot more fun for you as a person who's running the game.
I just realized something from the last session, too.
Oh?
I've got Detect Magic on. I hope Alonzo's still there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there are things going on. Well, and you also have a few other things going on since you used your focus, so.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's so fun.
It's scary.
It is scary, but it's wonderful.
I didn't realize it was sentient, and then you're like, oh, listen to the dream. I'm like, it is!
The first dream that Ryan had, yeah, I'm like, hey.
Yep.
Yeah, if you actually like re-listen to the podcast and like take notes, you'll probably like be like, oh my god, he's been hinting at this moment for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what you do when you tell stories. You foreshadow, even though foreshadowing doesn't exactly work when you're actually the character in the story.
Mm.
It's a silly thing like that. And sometimes I do try to drop heavy hints because why not?
Sometimes I think the players know what's going on, but they don't want their character to know. Like, it's one of those things where it's like I can tell that
but
Christy
you don't.
is not playing to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, neither am I with Nilkus either. Like, I don't want him to win. Like, I don't want him to get a wish or any of that.
I just want to see what crazy shenanigans she could come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to fix this. Because I just realized something. The ruse blend in with the dirt.
Oh no! You can always try to turn it into like lighter thatching.
Let's see. Fix this.
Ooh, darker.
Yep. I'm cheating and I don't care.
No, it's not cheating if it
cheating.
works.
You're making things easier.
Oh man, I look forward to the next Heroes of Old because I think we're going to get into a large fight. And
Ooh.
yeah.
Gotta love fights.
Hope Bronca doesn't get in lava again.
Oh god, poor Bronca. Yeah, so yeah, let's explain the characters because I don't think anybody who would be listening to this would be like, what's Heroes of Old? Is that the thing that Christie's in? No. So actually, we haven't really introduced ourselves either.
I know, I just realized that.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Paul. This is my voice. If you heard me before, it's probably because you've been listening to Tales of Swordfall. I'm also in a few other things, like in Heroes of Old, which is a game in the Band of the Hawk gaming group, where Aludria is GMing, and also Gats, who's also from Tales of Swordfall, is playing in it too. And we've been playing for that for like 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. And yeah, that's basically where I'm from, Tales of Swordfall. How about you, Phoenix?
I'm also in Tales of Swordfall Purple group, and I'm working on a lot of art for that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And doing an awesome job. I think both of you do an awesome job at art, so
I love all the artists we have in this group. Like, this is the only group where there's another artist, and it's so glad to see Christy here. Because I'm like, yes, there's another
artist. Have more artists around.
I mean, yeah, like, what, we have you two, and then we have Lucy, and then Alex and Guy, and I do art, and who else does art in our group?
Guy does on and off, I think.
Yeah, I think I included him.
Yeah, varying things. Okay, let's see.
Actually, I think Chris, the guy who plays Flea, does a little art, but he doesn't really post it all that often, which is...
The guy who does Crackator?
Yeah, Crackator, that's Alex. Yeah, he does... Man, the last picture of Crackator was crazy. I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome.
These roofs just look kind of sad. So...
Oh no, they look nice. I mean...
Wait, what'd you say?
I was saying these roofs look a little off.
Zoom out a little bit. I think they look fine here from what I see. Yeah, they look fine.
Yeah, but
you're the artist, so you do you.
No, they need more details. So
I
like
get
when
into like perfectionist mode here.
No, I think it's awesome that like you put such a level of detail in what you're working on, and you know, man, I'm a little jealous that you can do these landscapes and stuff so like just so beautifully.
It's very hard going from traditional to digital because there's things like oversaturation. There's brushstroke differences. The thing I like about Clip Studio is you can blend in the brushstrokes. So let's say, just going to use this as an extreme example. Oh wait, would it help if I do this on a layer that I can see? 1 second. Are you a useless layer or did I... Okay, that would help. So, say like this. I could do that with Clip Studio Paint. I can't really do that with a lot of programs.
Wait, what brush? Watercolor brush?
Yeah, it's one I downloaded.
It kind of reminds me of a smudge brush on other programs, though.
I haven't downloaded anything. I should probably do that.
I like some of the custom brushes.
Yeah, Clip Studio looks pretty cool. Like, I should try that. Try it sometime.
It's really useful.
I
love the
recommend it.
stabilization and the pressure settings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but you guys are using tablets and stuff. I just have a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's I have no idea.
Yeah. I could probably use the touchpad on this laptop, but I don't think that would work as well. Oh, that would drive me crazy. Yeah, I could see adventurers walking across this, looking at like the little town and stuff, and seeing a horde of goblins suddenly walk across the road and start like burning
For
things.
initiative!
Yep.
I'm just gonna carry this trail. I just used the watercolor brush for this to kind of make it look somewhat muddy, whatnot. I don't know. Instead of like a solid path, because who knows what has been walking on this. Could be adventurers, could be goblins. Could just be ungodly creatures, for all we know.
Oh, it could be so many other things. Or, like the billets that you just kind of put back on the shelf that were hatching.
Oh. I was offering to actually... I was somewhat hinting at Guy that I was offering to pay for it. But he said yes to the quest.
Wait, what?
I was asking how much. I mean, think about it though. Rayan's got mommy issues. She doesn't know what they're capable of. What are they looking for? So, she was the one asking how much, just to cover her butt.
Those religious people are... How do we pay them, Paul? the hire.
The
How do we...
the religious people? What?
The person I hired to watch Rayanne or whatever, make sure that Alonzo doesn't or spy on Alonzo or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say the gun shooting stopped because you did the right move, and you'll probably get a bill later.
Oh,
okay.
Lovely.
I'll take care of that, no worries.
Oh, come on, Clips. Don't you crush on me. Just in case, Control S. I would not want to lose this.
Is it storming where anybody is too? Storming.
It is on and off, but not right now.
Have you heard from Gats at all, Paul? How's he doing? Oh, he's probably playing his thing, isn't he?
He probably is. I didn't think about that either.
I was just talking to the GM of the other group, Eludria. Yeah, Gats is gonna play, but it sounds like he's still being overworked.
I feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I figure some pine trees would give this some depth.
Oh, lots of pine trees. I love evergreen trees, but then again, that's like what I have around me.
Mm-hmm. They're here too. If it isn't a pine tree, or a pecan tree. It's an oak tree, and yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty much all we have. Live oaks, pine trees, pecan trees, some magnolia and mimosa trees, but that's it. Oh, and crepe myrtles. Crepe myrtles everywhere.
What is that?
So it's like a flowering tree. Well, it produces lots of flowers and whatnot. It has a very hardy bark and whatnot. I don't know how far along it is across the U.S. It's just like a tree loaded with flowers.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
You see it in like pink, purple, white, sometimes red. Very rare that it's red.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of pink ones like that before.
Pink's the most common. I think what I'm going to do is... I'm going to make this work.